So this is Nirbhay and welcome back to another video of AWS Basic to Advanced series. So in this video we're gonna see the complete setup and working of AWS Application Load Balancer, where we will try to hit the DNS of Application Load Balancer and we will see how the traffic distributes among these two EC2 instances. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly create an VPC and we're gonna creating two subnets, and inside that we will be spinning up a EC2 instance in each, and we will be creating a target group and will associating this EC2 inside this target group, and again we will be creating an internet gateway that will be attached to VPC and followed by a route table that will allow access to this EC2 instances, and we will be creating an application load balancer and we will be seeing how we can distribute the traffic among these two EC2 instances. So the first component we need to create is our VPC. Okay, so I go to my console and I will be going to VPC. Okay, it's getting loaded. VPC. Now you need to click on create VPC. Okay, so I will be creating a VPC only. So let I name it as test VPC, and CIDR range I will be providing as 10.0.0/16, and simply I will hit on create VPC. So now my VPC has been created. So this VPC has been created. So the next step is we need to create both subnet, that is subnet 1 and subnet 2. Okay. So let I go back again to console. Now I will be clicking on these subnets and click on create subnet with VPC inside our test VPC, and subnet name that I provided as subnet -1a. Why 1a? Because I am selecting availability zone 1a, and CIDR range let I give it as 10.0.0/24, and so this will be for first subnet, but we need to create one more subnet. Okay, so I will be simply clicking on add new subnet and named I will give it as subnet 1b. By 1b again I will be selecting availability zone 1 and CIDR block range, so let I give it as 10.0.1.0/24. So what this will do, this will create the subnet 1a and subnet 1b. So let us simply click create subnet. So now our both subnets are created. So next step is we need to create this internet gateway and attach to this VPC. So again I will be going here and I will be searching for internet gateway. You can find in the left side create internet gateway. So let I name it as test IGW and create internet gateway. So this has been created. So internet gateway and test IGW I will be associating to where? To our VPC. Which VPC? Our test VPC. Attach. So what this has done, this has now attached my internet gateway to my VPC. So now what I need to do, I need to create route tables such that this subnet will have internet access. So I can go to console and go to route tables. Let I click on create route table and name it as public RT. Which VPC? Our test VPC. And subnet association. So I have created one route table only, that is public. So these both subnets are a public subnet only. You can create a private also, but to keep this video short I am creating both. So edit subnet association, I will be selecting both and save association. So in subnet association you can see with this route table both subnet has been associated. So in order to provide internet access to the resources that will be deployed inside this subnet, that can be EC1 or EC2 2, so we need to add a routes towards this internet gateway. Okay, in the route table. Okay, so what I need to do, go to route and edit route towards what? Towards internet. So it will be all 0/0 and our target is internet gateway. So select that internet gateway. Which internet gateway? Our test IGW, and save changes. So now we have added route for the subnet 1 and 2 towards this internet gateway. So internet spin inside this will have internet access. Okay, so the next step is we need to create two EC2 instances in these subnets. So I will be going again to my console, and now this time I will be searching for EC2. And let I open it. I will simply click instance. Now let I give it name as test EC2 and type I will be selecting as Amazon Linux only. Keep here I will be selecting existing one only. Edit which VPC I will be selecting test VPC, and which subnet? Our subnet was our first subnet. Auto assign public I will be keeping as enable. Okay. Security test is test SG, and SSH it is allowing for SSH from everywhere. So I'm adding one more security that will be for HTTP request from scroll down and in advanced detail user data script. What adding a script so that it will be installing Apache and it will printing hello from, and let I click on launch instance. So our first instance has been launched. As you can see our first instance. So now what we are doing, we are launching this second instance in the subnet 2. So let I name it as test EC2, and I will be keeping this Amazon T2 micro, keep here existing only, and edit VPC, which VPC, our test VPC, subnet. Now we are speaking in subnet 2. Okay, that was subnet 1B. Okay, so subnet 1B, keeping this auto and public IP as enable, and security, let's say test SG, description keep as same, and it has only rule for SSH from. So let I add one more. It will be for HTTP request from source anywhere. Scroll down in advanced detail, again scroll down in user data script, pasting that script. So I will simply, okay, so now my both instances has been launched. If I refresh our EC2 and EC2, so you can see our EC2 1 and our EC2 2 is in. Okay, so their status check has been initializing right now. So till now, as I have refreshed again, you can see like status check for one instance is now with 2x2 check password. So let I select that only, and if I copy its public IP in a new tab, if I paste that, let's see what it is due to PS, because our site is not. So I have removed that as, see it is showing hello from that IP range. Okay. So similarly, it should work for second EC2 instance. It is not still passed, so it will be same one. So let it be. So now what we need to do, we have launched our two EC2 instances. So the next step is we need to create a target group and associate this EC2 instance. So why we are creating target group, that you will know later on why we are using. Just assume like we are creating a kind of target group, in that we are associating different instances, and from load balancer we will be targeting this target group, and this target will have this both EC2 instances, and it will distribute load among these two EC2 instances. So let I go to console again and scroll down in the EC2 section only, select on and on this target groups. Create target group. What type of target we want? We want as instances, so it can be IP address, lambda function, and target group as test TG, and protocol I am keeping as IPv4 type VPC. Let I select test VPC and HTTP version, and path is slash only, because we are not using anything such like slash login or slash something. I'm keeping that only. And next, so I can see my both EC2 instance, so I will be selecting and include as spend. So create. So in the target you can see its health status is now showing. Why unused? Because we are not distributing any load to them. So after we are started distributing load to them, so it will show some other status. So now our target group also has been created. So till now what we have did, we have created our VPC, we have created our subnet, we have created our both EC2 instances and target group, and we have associated this EC2 instance in that. And now what we need to do for ALB, and we will see how we. So now what I will be doing, I will simply this create load balancer. So there are various type of application load balancer. So we are interested into ALB that works on layer 7, and it is used for HTTP and HTTPS related request, whereas NLB is used for TCP and UDP related request, that is used where there is requirement of high ultra performance, and it can serve and handle around millions of requests per second. Okay, so it is kind of very fast. Okay, so we are currently interested with application load balancer, being simply named as ALB. So I am keeping it as internet facing, so you can keep it as internal also if you want to access inside the particular internal network only, but I want to access from outside of the environment, so I will be selecting internet facing only. I am keeping as IPv4 and I select test VPC and ALT zones, so I will be selecting, because this states like in which ALT zone you want to make your ALB available. So I want and security, so let I create new test SG ALB, copy this, paste VPC, let I select add rule for what, for all HTTP I want to allow from requests, create security. So now our test SG ALB has pressed this. You can see our test SG ALB is there, and our protocol I am keeping this as AT. You can use HTTPS also if you are making it secure, and default action where we want to make our traffic to redirect to. Okay, so we want our traffic to redirect to our target group, so that our target group has this EC2 instances already associated. So I will be selecting our test TG, scroll down, create load balancer. So now our load balancer is, you can see its current status is in provisioning mode. Now as you can see, our ALB status is in active state. Okay, but if you remember, like our EC2 instance was already accessible, okay, from its public IP. But now what we want to do, we want to make it accessible via this ALB only. So what we gonna do, we gonna go our EC2 instances, in its security I've selected our EC2 1, opening this security and edit. So I will selecting this edit inbound rule, and I will be removing this HTTP from all. Okay. Instead I will be selecting HTTP from where, from this our EC2 test SG ALB only. Okay, so that we have in the security section, we can see that is test SG ALB. So I am allowing that only. Save rules. Okay, so we have allowed in security group of first EC2 instance. So similarly I will be selecting EC2 2 in the security, will be opening this security group of EC2 instance and edit, and I will be removing that HTTP from everywhere and adding from where, from our test SG ALB only. So what it will, this both EC2 instance will allow only HTTP access from the SG of this ALB only. So this will make it more secure. So now we have allowed. So let I go. If I try to again reload, so it is currently, if I try to open tab also, if I copy the detail and if I copy the DNS of the ALB and if I paste that, you can see it is redirecting to our one server, that is with 0.134. If I refresh, it is redirecting 150. So you can see in EC2 the first was 151 and another server was 134. So it is redirecting. So till now what we have seen, so this shows like user is requesting to the DNS of the ALB. From ALB the request is getting passed to the target group, and target group has two EC2 instances, so the traffic is getting routed. So this shows how. So till now what we have seen, we have created a VPC, internet gateway associated with our VPC, so that our EC2 will have internet access, and we created two subnets, we created two EC2 inside them, and we created target group, and we associated this EC2 instance into that, and we created application load balancer, and we hit that application balancer, and now traffic is getting distributed among this both EC2 instances. So if you find this video helpful, then please like, subscribe and share this video, and if you have any doubt then feel free to comment in the comment section. Till now, bye.